Hey guys, I was just sitting in front of my computer, so I thought I'd take a couple minutes to give you a short video about the concept of yang in internal alchemy, because it seems like there was some confusion about that in the comments section. So in the last video that I made, which was about Lu Dongbin and the 100 character ancestor stele, which is going to be part of a series about the thought of past internal alchemy masters, I mentioned that at a high level, the person's yang energy can leave the vertex, right? And then that can generate a. They believe that this can generate a second body outside of the main body, right? Wang Chongyang, in the founder of the Chuanzhen school, called it Shen Wai Yu Shen. So outside the body, there's another body. So this is part of the practice of internal alchemy. It's very advanced, right? It's a higher level practice compared to circulating the energy inside of the body. But I got a comment, which is that the yang is the vital force of the body, and if it leaves the body, you will die. So I just wanted to address that. So because it's important to recognize that Taoist concepts and Chinese medicine concepts are fundamentally different in some pretty important ways. So I'll do my best to explain it in a relatively short period of time. Basically, when you are cultivating the golden elixir, before you start, right, your body is composed of the same yin and yang qi as normal people, right? You have Jing, Qi, and Shen, the three treasures. And the Jing, Qi, and Shen have pre-heaven and post-heaven, and they're broken into all these different categories, right? This is Chinese medicine stuff. It's a common cultural belief, right? But when you practice the golden elixir, the basic idea is that the Jing, a special kind of Jing called Yuan Jing, pre-heaven essence, which is located primarily in the lower abdomen area. They say in the kidneys, but they really mean lower abdomen general area. This original essence is converted partially into a kind of qi. It's an alchemical qi. It has various different names. One name you can call it is Zhen qi or true qi. They also just call it yang or pre-heaven yang even. And this is the product of the original essence that comes from the meditation practice. It's not something that you already have if you don't cultivate it, right? So this is not the same as the Chinese medicine idea that the original essence, gives off a little bit of qi that goes to the 8 extraordinary meridians and this kind of thing, or goes to the blood, blah blah blah. It's not that. This is a totally different idea. So this idea is that by using the spirit, the fire, technically, to cultivate the water palace or the lower abdomen, it warms up a little bit of this original ancestral essence that you still carry from when you were conceived, and that essence generates qi, and this qi is in some degree it's actually from the ancestral heritage of the entire universe, right? It comes from the Tao, according to Taoists, depending how you cultivate it, right? So if you cultivate it in certain ways, you can take more of the sort of cosmic ancestral qi, and if you cultivate it in other ways, you can take more qi from the body. But this is a bit of a moot point, and I'll tell you why in a second. So as you cultivate the golden elixir, basically the process is that this small amount of qi, alchemical yang qi, moves in the Du meridian typically first. Okay, so it goes up the back, it goes to the brain, and it nourishes the brain. Then it's collected in the saliva and returned back to the area behind the umbilicus, where then it's stored, and you would continue to meditate. Over months and years, the energy, the alchemical energy, accumulates in the abdomen behind the belly button, and it causes the qi to move more, not only in the lower abdomen, but also be stored in the upper abdomen too. Over time, the Du meridian becomes mature, its cycle finishes, and the central meridian starts to open. So the central meridian is the thoroughfare directly up and down the center of the body, not to be confused with the Chinese medicine Chong meridian. It's a different idea. So this is something that people don't have unless they cultivate it. And over time, that happens, and the qi goes much more directly, yang, right? The alchemical yang qi goes much more directly to the brain than typically it would by cycling around the meridians. So as that develops sufficiently, what happens is that on the head, various sutras, especially the Fontanelle, begin to soften up a little bit. And over time, it becomes soft enough that it kind of separates a little bit. This is also similar to the idea of what Buddhists in Tibetan Buddhists do when they practice powa, but it's a little bit different because it's not an intentional practice that Neidan people do. It's something that happens naturally over time. And when that happens, it becomes possible for whatever reason for spiritual awareness and spiritual energy to penetrate above the head to some extent. And it could be a greater extent or it could be a lesser extent. It depends on the person's level of practice. That energy should not be mistaken with the yang qi that is used in the physiological sense. This is a kind of specialized spiritual awareness and energy that's cultivated exclusively through meditation. There's no way to do it without cultivating it through meditation techniques. And it's a very unique to Neidan practice. So it's important to recognize that what we're talking about here is two fundamentally different subjects. It's not that you recruit the yang of the body to do this for you. It's that you develop this specialized type of alchemical qi, which is called yang. But from the perspective of Taoism, this is a totally different yang than they're talking about in Chinese medicine. I hope that helps. Have a good one. Always happy to see you guys. Let me know if you want to hear about any other subjects related to internal alchemy, qigong, bagua, xingyi. I'll do my best. See ya.